Guys, all right, on this video, like I talked about before, we're going to be I'm going to be showing you these roller races that I went to and how the Mini did, and then what I do about it after that all went down. So let's get to it. My first race went less than ideal. I don't really understand what's going on with the car. The logs don't make any sense. It's basically telling me that I was on the rev limiter for like all of fourth gear, but it didn't feel like that in the car. But then I was like listening to the video and I'm like, maybe I was, I don't know. So basically what's gonna have to happen is I think I need to go make a solo pass real quick, try to figure out what the fuck is going on. So definitely it was spinning a lot. I couldn't hear it over the Mustang clearly, but I could hear it that time without anybody beside me. It's third gear, it spins a little bit, but then in fourth, when the bottle comes on, it was spinning a lot. Like it was really fucking blowing the tires off, and I couldn't see it because I don't have a tack. I was just going off the shift light. Well, it was hanging like just below where that shift light is, so I didn't know. So now I know. I pedaled it on that one and it tried to pull through, but it's spinning too much. So I just jetted it back down. I went down to a 42 jet on the nitrous, and I went to a 20 on the fuel. So she might be a tad lean. I don't know. We'll see. I might have to add some fuel in. Actually, I'm gonna add a little bit of fuel in just because, and make another test pass. Guys, today is just not my day. Things aren't going well. It's just like, I don't understand. It's spinning when you would expect it to spin, like with the power that you would think it's making, but then it's slower. It makes no sense. It's like, it's not like I dialed it back enough that it's like barely spinning. Like air feels are pretty good. Like it just, I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like, it's a lot slower than it was before. It makes no sense. I'm about to make one last ditch effort, and then I'm probably just gonna call it a day because I got no fucking idea. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the nitrous on so it just like comes on in third. Like I've been having it spray in fourth. Like I turned it down to a 65 shot because it just wasn't working. I don't know. I'm gonna try that, see what happens. I don't expect it to go well, and I'm probably just gonna trailer it home, but fuck it, let's try it. A couple side notes before I get into the rest of this video. So, like some of those races, like I didn't really comment on. So like that first Mustang, I've raced him before. I raced him when it was nitrous only and no supercharger, and it was like the same outcome. So obviously the car, there was something wrong with it. And then like that Skyline race, same thing. I raced him before when I was nitrous only, same outcome. Something's wrong. Then I raced that Camaro, which is like basically a stock with, I think it had some minor bolt-ons on a freaking, just a SS Camaro. Like I should have dog walked that dude, and I didn't. Like that car was, yeah, there was something seriously wrong with the Mini Cooper. So yeah, I ended up taking it home. And I also had a flat tire on the trailer. I don't know if I talked about it earlier in the video. Ended up having to fix that, and it was not good. But yeah, so let's get the rest of this. All right, so I'm gonna check the compression on this thing because it is definitely not right. That roll race was, I don't even understand what was going on. This car was either way down on power or something. I don't know. Something was wrong. So we're going to check compression, see where we're at with that, and then go from there. Well, those are the numbers I got. They're not great, but the engine's also cold. This one's obviously kind of low, but I checked the numbers that I had written down from before when I first got this engine, and that actually hasn't changed. That's exactly what it was before. These three numbers actually, well, this one got a little bit better. These two are about the same also. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm not convinced that's it. I mean, it could still have maybe like a blown head gasket or something. Like it might be just barely blown, because it just seems like this thing's using coolant still. You can see like it's like wet around there, and the level is a little bit lower than it was when I was at the roll races. So I don't know where this coolant's going. I might have to put a pressure checker on it, or shit, I don't know. I don't really have a great solution as to what in the hell is going on with this car. But I think my next plan is I'm going to start back from square one. I'm going to take that pulley back off, put the other belts on there, you know, change the tune back over to exactly what it was when I went to Ice Cream Cruise and it was running great, and then see if the car is okay. If that's okay, then I know it has something to do with the tune, and that, you know, pulley, something is causing something weird. But I mean, hopefully it runs fine. 'Cause I mean, honestly, if it runs fine, maybe I'll leave it like that and I'll just give it more nitrous, or I don't know, maybe I could split the difference. Maybe if there's something about that pulley, it doesn't like that pulley, I could go to a 110, maybe, you know, not run quite as much boost. Like one idea I kind of had is that maybe because I'm running the map sensor off of the Haltech on the inside of the car, and it has to have a pretty long hose, maybe it's getting a delayed reaction, and maybe that's causing it to, you know, do lean and rich and whatever between shifts, and maybe that's slowing it down. But it just seems like that can't be it, because it's like, I just feel, I mean, it just seems like even with that, it should still pull harder. But I don't know. I'm going to start over, so I'm going to get to ripping this bumper off, pull that pulley off, swap that shit out, and go from there, I guess. All right, so I got everything back together, put the old nitrous jets back in there. So basically, everything's the same. I got the tunes re-uploaded, so everything's the same as it was. The only difference is it has a new fuel pump. So I know on the top end, it might be a little bit rich, so I'll have to adjust that. But other than that, it's ready to go. So I'm about to go try it. Honestly, strangely enough, guys, like it feels really good. Even with the boost turned down, it feels really good. Like, I mean, the tune is only off by like a tiny bit. I'm only gonna have to make a few changes, but I mean, you know, it's hitting like, I don't know, 6 pounds or something like that, and it's pulling really, I mean, it's pulling really good. I mean, it was actually trying to spin a little bit. I mean, granted, there was a little bumpy, but I mean, still, it was still trying to spin in third, and like, you know, I mean, it wasn't that much different than it was when it was on bigger boost. I don't know if maybe that pulley was just overspinning it so much, it just didn't like it. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. Pulled really strong, guys. I did that first hit. I just made a couple changes, ran good. So then the second hit, I threw the nitrous on, and it pulled hard. I mean, real hard. I mean, especially considering when I checked the log, it was really, really rich, which kind of doesn't surprise me because, like I said, it's got a bigger pump in there, so it's pumping, definitely pumping more fuel in there. It was rich enough that I changed the jet out. I had a 52, so it was 100 shot, and then a 35 jet for fuel, which is what I was running last time, but like I said, it was with the other fuel pump, and it was probably running out of fuel, so it was like really struggling. So I dropped it down to a 30 on the fuel, and I'm gonna give it a hit and see how it does. I'm probably gonna have to do a fourth gear roll on this one because it was spinning a lot in third, and yeah, we're gonna do that.
That pull was even better. It brought the air fuels up a little bit. It was like down in the 9s and the low 10s, not good. This pull, it was like 11.0 to 11.2. So I think I'm gonna drop down. You know what? We'll drop down to a 28 fuel jet. Drop down 2. So I think that'll get me pretty close to where I need to be. Hopefully I can get all this done real quick because it's supposed to rain in like less than 10 minutes. So we'll find out. I made the first pull, just, you know, 4th gear. Felt really good. Felt better than the other one. It felt a lot quicker. So then I tried to make I was trying to do a 60 to 130 and I failed. I missed 6th pretty bad. I was trying to see if it was about the same speed as it was before. I don't have a drag in here, but I was just gonna kind of go off of time, just kind of read it. And then I realized that on my data log, I did not log speed. That's a problem. So I tried to look at it in the video, which on my phone, the quality isn't very good. So yeah, I might have to wait until I actually download it and then, like, yeah, look at it better. But I mean, in general, I think it's pretty close to where it was. I think I could still pull a little bit more fuel. It was running like between 11.0 and about 11.2. It was actually pretty steady at 11.0 right on the top, which is, it's not bad. I mean, it'd just be nice if I was just a skosh leaner. I know it'd make a little bit more power. Not that it necessarily needs it, because obviously in 3rd gear it's spinning quite a bit, but it's, you know, the way it's coming on, if I started a high RPM, it's spinning, but it's not banging the rev limiter. It's just kind of like spin, and then it like catches and goes. So that's actually pretty ideal because, you know, like I talked about before, the banging the rev limiter isn't good on the supercharger. But the one thing that's super awesome, guys, that I don't really know how to explain it, but dropping down to the smaller pulley fixed the coolant problems. Like, as far as I can tell, it's running a lot cooler than it was. Like, the coolant temps are better, like cruising, it's not trying to overheat. The intake temps are down, which that makes sense. But like the coolant temps, I really don't get it. I don't know if it's just creating that much more cylinder pressure at all times, so it's just keeping it hotter. I don't know. It's really odd, but yeah, I mean, the car's liking it, so that's, yeah, it might just stay with this pulley, because I mean, it pulls good. I mean, it pulls really good, you know, and I had a good time at the ice cream cruise, and I was beating a lot of shit. And I mean, realistically, I knew that the tune needed a little bit of work. I knew I could have brought it in a little bit closer, especially if I was like on a dyno tuning it, not just throwing it on the dyno to find out power numbers. So I think that might be the way to go. I might just see if I can get some dyno time and see if I can throw this on and, you know, dial it all the way in and make sure it's good. But it's still kind of, I don't know if you could tell in the last couple of videos, but it was starting to sprinkle, and it's like still like kind of sprinkling right now. So I think I might be done doing power pulls because it's gonna start getting really, honestly, too sketchy. So yeah, good stuff. Apparently I spoke too soon because this thing's running hot as shit again. It's fucking, I mean, you can see that. It's running fucking, yeah, hot. It was fucking heating up all the way at the 210 when I was pulling into this fucking gas station. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I might go buy a fucking thermostat and put it in it just because I don't even understand. Makes no sense. Okay, I don't even know why I bothered putting this fucking car back together. So I'm about to tear it all back apart again. So it's still trying, obviously it's trying to overheat. I don't know what's going on with it. I have no idea. Maybe it has an air pocket. I don't know. I just bought a combustion tester. I'm gonna try and see if, you know, maybe it's got a blown head gasket. I don't know. I'm gonna check that. If that doesn't turn up anything, I think I'm gonna drain the coolant out. I'm gonna pull the thermostat out. I might just yank the thermostat, period. Put it back in there and bleed it again. This, I still can't tell if this is leaking because I could swear I cleaned this thing off. So I feel like it might be leaking from here. That could be part of the problem, maybe. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna have to drain the coolant again. I did buy some more transmission fluid. I got some here, and then I got some other stuff up there. So I'm going to change the transmission fluid again because I want to see if maybe changing the tranny fluid will help that third gear synchro a little bit. I doubt it, but I'm going to try it anyway. All right, so I checked it with the combustion leak tester. I didn't really find anything. It was kind of a pain in the ass and kind of a waste of time. Pulled the thermostat out, put it in hot water. As far as I can tell, it's opening up when it's supposed to. So I don't know. I drilled a few holes in it. You can kind of see. So hopefully that'll help it bleed out. And I guess I'm just going to try filling it again and see what happens with, some holes in the thermostat. In theory, it should cool a little bit better and it should get the air bubbles out. So I don't know. We'll try it. Okay, so I got it refilled. I'm going to have to run it with the funnel again because I just straight up don't trust it. I also, while this is all off, I cut this out some more. I gave myself a little bit more room because it was just such a pain in the ass to get to this bolt right here because it was like tucked in behind here. And then this side, this isn't any different, but I cut out a lot more back in here. So hopefully more air can get in there. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I figured it was, worth a shot. Yeah, so, and then I changed the transmission fluid, which was very dirty, and there wasn't a lot of it in there, so that's always good. Man, guys, I finally figured it out. I know why it was overheating. This bigger inner fan is intermittently bad. The front fan's working great, and it was sitting here, and I was like, man, it doesn't sound loud enough, and I checked it. Sure enough, this fan wasn't working. As soon as I touched it, it started turning on, and then I started noticing if I push a little kind of hard, it'll shut off. If I let off, it'll turn back on, and then it's like sometimes it was just like half speed, so that fan's just defective. That's what the fuck is going on. God, it took so long to figure that out. So stupid. Now, the worst part about that is it's not easy to get to. Shit. I pull the fan out, and what do I see? That'll do it. Shit. Fucking stupid. I don't know if you know this, guys, but don't stick your finger in a fucking moving fan. It's a bad idea. That fucking hurt. Cut me open pretty good. So stupid. So far, it's running a lot colder than it ever has, that's for sure. It's doing real good. It's like back to, honestly, it used to do this when it was like all motor. I wonder if that fan's been screwed up the whole time I put the supercharger on. That's pretty freaking good. I mean, considering it's like almost 90 degrees outside right now, so that's pretty damn good. It's even cooling down just sitting here idling, no airflow, just chilling in a parking lot. Oh, yep, cooled down another degree. Look at that. It's pretty good. All right, so I just went out and made a couple real hard pulls. I was leaning on it pretty hard, and now I'm just sitting here just idling in the parking lot. I've been sitting here for almost 5 minutes, and it's just stayed right at 194. And before, man, if you let it sit here, it just keep creeping up and up and up and up. That's a good sign. That's good. What's not a good sign is the data log. When I had the data log pulled up, you can see that I think I'm actually getting a little bit of belt slip, which is kind of interesting because I didn't have that problem before. But if you look here, we're at like 5.5 pounds, and then it starts tapering off. It starts dropping off towards the rev limiter. And I did the same thing every gear. So you can see a 4.9, 4.7 dropping off. Same thing here, 5.2, 5.1, 5.0. Yeah, and I checked the other data log and did the same thing. So I'm gonna go do another pull, but I think I got some belt slip, so I might need to, I don't know, maybe I need to tighten that idler or that top tensioner pulley a little bit more, or maybe I need to go to a smaller pull or a smaller belt, get a little bit more tension, because realistically this one isn't super tight. It could be a little tighter. Guys, check this out. I made that adjustment on the fucking pulley because I knew it was slipping a little bit. Turns out the whole time I ever had this 120 mil pulley on here, it was slipping. Look at that. It's hitting 8 pounds now. And before, the most I would get off the bottle was like 6. So it was slipping the whole fucking time from about 7,000 on. So I just picked up a whole bunch of power on the top end, literally just by tightening that top tensioner just a tiny bit, just because I think that belt is just a little bit small, or a little bit too big. Better to have a slightly smaller belt, but honestly, it's not hitting the hood, so I think that's good. That's awesome. I'm fucking stoked. tried the first run I did off the bottle, and the second one I did on the bottle. This is the on the bottle run. You can see I'm hitting almost 9 pounds now on the bottle. You know, off the bottle I was sitting about 8.1 or so. That's pretty damn good. I mean, this thing I've been getting a little bit of slip right there. Well, I guess I was banging the rev limiter. But yeah, I mean, this is, wow, I'm really happy. It's doing pretty freaking good now. Hey guys, I got some new nitrous jets, so I'm able to dial in this nitrous a little bit better. I took the 28 fuel jet out, now I've got a 26 in there. I also acquired a draggy, so now I can actually, you know, make back-to-back pulls and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And I got like a nice camera mount, so now, yeah, all things are better. Hopefully the car is better as well.
60. 130.
So that last pull, I was trying to get, I was trying to do a 60 to 130 and try to do 5th to 6th. It wouldn't work. See how this is loose? I just realized, you can see down in here, that is not tight, and the bolt is right there. That'll explain why I can't fucking hit 6th. I made another run. I forgot to hit record on the camera, but it did a lot better that time. I was actually able to hit 6th. I did go a little bit slower, which you could see it on the graph. It was definitely a lot better. It was quicker than it was at Ice Cream Cruise, which is good. That means we're in the right direction. It said it was an invalid run though, so I need to do another one to get a good valid run. Apparently there's not enough GPS reception out here, so it really sucks. It's also, there's kind of a side wind, and it's really fucking me. Like, I'm just kind of all over the damn road, which really sucks, but it is what it is. And I can't seem to get, I want to make a run the other way, but there's so much traffic. I can't fucking get out there. So, yeah, I gotta go the other direction. So, let's try this again. Hopefully I hit record this time. I don't know how the fuck I didn't get that on camera, but that was not good. I hit 9,300 RPMs because, yeah, I misshifted. I went 5th to 4th, and I don't understand how the car is just totally okay, but it fucking took it. Son of a bitch. I don't know how the hell I'm ever going to get a clean run. Jesus Christ, this 5th to 6th is screwing me. Guys, I think I'm going to end it right there. Obviously, you know, I had a lot of problems with the roll races. The car wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. I still don't really understand, like, how it was down on power so much. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think is, like, either the supercharger was overspinning by so much, like it was creating so much heat that it was causing it to lose power, even though the air-fuels ratios were okay. I don't know, maybe. My other thought was like that those transient throttle problems that I was having, like between shifts, that maybe it was slowing it down enough. It was actually like slower throughout the run, even though when it got out of that, it was faster. I don't know. It didn't seem like it was that bad to me, but I don't know. It's hard to say. But now that it's on the, now that it's back to the bigger pulley and it's, you know, it's on 8 pounds instead of 6, and I guess it's technically on 9 on nitrous, but it's pulling really good. It's definitely, it's quicker than it was at Ice Cream Cruise. So that's good. I mean, it was smashing at Ice Cream Cruise, so I don't have any, I don't have any problems there. I still want to play with it a little bit more. I want to see if maybe I can turn the nitrous up a little bit more, see what I can do. But realistically, at this point, there's not much I can do until I fix this transmission, because obviously I'm having lots of transmission problems. Third gear still grinding. That 6th gear, I don't understand why, but it doesn't seem like it wants to go in sometimes. It blocks me out, and obviously, I had those couple of 5th to 4th, shifts that were no good. That was not good. I could see a lot of RPM. I can't believe it didn't hurt anything. Like I've driven it quite a few miles since that all went down, and everything seems okay. It's just, still the transmission is kind of questionable. I also think that the clutch might be part of the issue too, because the clutch feels a little bit different than it used to, and I don't know it's a cheap clutch, so it wouldn't surprise me. So I might end up having to do another one. But I think realistically, the biggest thing is I'm going to have to take this transmission apart and either rebuild it, get another one. I don't know. I might be getting a gear set from my buddy. Might end up just throwing a whole new gear set in there and just running it. Or my other thought was, doing somewhat of a build on it, doing some carbon synchros and, replacing gears and all that kind of stuff. We'll see. That's going to be a winter project.
There's going to be more. I'm probably going to go and race this thing a few more times this year. Hopefully the transmission survives. I mean, I can still race it. It's still raceable because I can get it into third. It just grinds. And I can shift through the gears. Just as long as I shift slower into sixth, it'll go in. It's just, it is what it is. But we'll see. We'll see what it comes down to. I know that there is a few races that I want to go to. There's another couple roll races that are coming up. I don't know if I'm going to take this or take the Exocet. We'll see. The Exocet has been fantastic. It's been working the way it's supposed to. So it might be that car because I honestly haven't driven the Exocet quite enough. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm sure there's plenty more to come with the Mini. So stay tuned and like, subscribe, do all the things, and peace out.